right, hey everybody. I decided to, with New Year, start something new, do a vlog to go with my Man About Town page and just kind of go with everything. And I start off, it's 1/18, January 1st, 2019, so new year, new thing for me. So I start off with this thing because this is the first thing I, work-wise or anything-wise, that I started my year off with, and it's so some of you may have heard about it. It's the Lime scooters, and I actually am a Lime juicer. That's ones that will pick them up at night, charge them, and put them back in location. And if I'm just kind of show you here, I'm gonna flip this around real quick. There they are. Those are the Lime scooters. So I have been doing this for about a week now. I actually started Christmas Eve, and I've enjoyed this. Yeah, it's something new for me. I've had many jobs and wore many hats, so this is definitely something new. There's definitely been some trials and tribulations with this thing, and I'll go into that a little bit deeper on. Right now, I said I just dropped some off, and I'm heading home. Kind of just keep an eye out on the road while I'm driving, and I'll not stare at the phone too much while I'm talking to you. So, of course, for me, if you have any questions, just throw it in the messages. I'll tell you about it. So after I get home, I will definitely I'll go to bed, and yeah, I have a nice little cough that started up from just a couple of days ago. But I'm going to go ahead and hang this up real quick, and then I will kick it back on in just a little bit. Alright, party people, I'm back up and at it now. For you, it's just been mere seconds. It's now 5:18 in the morning. This is a normal grind right now. It has been for the last week, like I was saying. I've already scouted out the location on the maps. Luckily, I have lived here my entire life, so I know exactly where I'm going. I'll have to pull it up on a map. So, like I said, there's also, some issues that have come about with this. Told you about the one about it not charging already, of course, just a few seconds ago for you, several hours ago for me. But also with when it comes time to serve these things, it's just, I don't know if it's, call me paranoid or what, but it's one of those. My cap right now is only 10 scooters is what I can pick up, the max, at one shot. So I'm trying to get to where my cap will expand so I can get more in one shot. But I have to hit certain requirements. I've hit 2 of the 3, but one of them, it seems that, like I said, it's paranoid, that every time I get close to it, I start to have issues with what's called serving the scooters. And the first time I ran into this problem, I was close to my percentages that I needed, and I spent an hour and a half trying to get these ones to be served, and you have to serve them before 7 o'clock. And I started at 6, and unfortunately it was about 7:30, and I got penalized, so my percentages got knocked down. So I didn't think much of it, but my percentages have gone back up, and I was getting close to 80%, which I'm at 79% right now. And once again, I'm having trouble with them wanting to serve. My GPS will say that, if I'm at the serve part, that I'm off of my mark. But if I swap it over to harvest, where it means to pick them up, then I am right on the dot. So it's become a little frustrating with that, but otherwise, it's one of those, I'm not sure if it's just the system. Like I said, I'm just brand new, and I did find a Facebook group, so I'm going to I was just accepted to actually last night while I was asleep. So I'm gonna check with them and see what I can find out about, if that's normal, blah blah blah. So, but yeah, the pay for this is not too bad. It's $3 starting off per scooter. The price can go up to just around $5 per scooter to charge. It just depends on basically how close to being dead it is, what time of the day it is. But other than that, normally you can't harvest these things or pick them up until 9 o'clock at night. And this I can see this as a very scalable business, and I saw this, as a possibility. For the moment I started checking it out, and in my time here so far, in just a week, I've run across several other individuals doing this, and there are some people that have turned into a business. And one of them I talked to, he doing this makes more now than he did whenever he had a regular job paying $35 an hour, and he actually has 2 employees to help him out. So it's very, very plausible. So it's just one of those, you gotta be a late night person. So alright, well, I am getting close to dropping off my first set. I'm gonna have to drop off 3. And like I said, this is gonna be one of those 3 locations closer to me than I saw, and I thought was possible, previously. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm going to get these unloaded and get these served. I said I live in Moore, the south side. I hate going downtown, but if I have to for this, I will. So, but I'm gonna let you go. I'll be right back. Okay, when I left my house, it showed that there was 4 spots available for these scooters, which I have 7 left over. And when I reached my location, they were not available. So, which does confirm one of my suspicions that there is somebody that lives in this area that does this also. Which is part of the reason why with the Facebook group, as well as I had the idea, finally getting to meet people. People I had met, the couples I had met, had not heard of a group, so I wanted to kind of help us coordinate. And much then last night when I ran into one of the guys, he said that somebody had already done that and there was one going. And this guy, he scaled this into a regular business with the 2 employees. He collects 75 scooters a day. I have ran into an individual that collects 50 a day, and a couple that does 40 a day. So, right now, though, this time of year, with it being wintertime, people aren't out and about. So, I'm sure it's a little cutthroat right now. People, especially those that have got higher caps, to be able to grab. During the spring and summer when everybody's out and about, it's going to be kind of like what I called this last night. Which there was a lot available a lot of the time. The Picker Paradise. So, sorry about that. So, I'm going to head to this next location. Let's see if they're there. Maybe if I can run into, like I said, not afraid to help talk to people and maybe coordinate. Like I said, and if they already are, that's awesome. So I still haven't checked which the group it looks like I have been accepted to. So, alright, well, I am going to be getting close in just a few minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on the place to make sure I drop it off the right one, which I'm pretty sure I know exactly where it's at. Because all 3 locations that are here on the south side of Oklahoma City are all for the same business. I'm not sure. By I can say the business name. So I'm just going to kind of keep that hush hush. But I will hop back on in just a little bit. Alright, I have dropped off 4, so now I have 3 left. Yeah, you really can't see them back there. And the issue that I've had before with them dropping off it's continued. I've checked online, and there have been several people complain about having issues and customer service not helping out. I mean, really, there is no number to call. I've checked out numbers and stuff like that. I have called people that I talk to. They can help me out a little bit, but their resources were limited. I have been in contact with people online through emails, and some have been very helpful. One, I'm not sure. Like I said, I can't talk to the individual, but just didn't seem very helpful. Kind of snarky. But even with all the issues that I've had, I've actually had a pretty good experience with them. So we'll see. And I've had, with anything, there are going to be issues, especially starting this off brand new. Issues are going to arise. There's no one to actually train you to do this. It's just basically you learn on the go. It can be a very thrilling business, if you like adventure, trying to track some of these down, because it does have GPS. I think I've told you that it tells you where the scooter's at. And they're not always going to be, it may show, GPS can be pretty accurate, but it's not going to always be exactly, it may show it's on one side of the street when it's actually on the other. So it's okay. It's like anything, it's going to have its good and it's going to have its bad. How far you want to see it through is the key. Of course, like with anything, how far you want to see it through. And if you want to get tired of it and ditch it, then that's your prerogative. So, let me turn this down real quick. Like I said, this is, just one of the many, many things I do. And I'll kind of reveal and go through, of course, for those that know me, besides this is going to be a shock to a lot of people, that I, am up at early in the morning, which, I normally would get up early in the morning to work out. Had problems working out. My hip was starting to hurt, and it was one of those. I'd still wake up early, so I just wanted to try to figure out what I could do. I was like, well, how could I make some money? And this is one of the things I found. So, and which these things, they are full metal with a small motor. They are not light. You have to pick them up, load them, unload them. So I'm getting a pretty good little workout. It's not the workout I'm used to with the heavy weights, which I will get back to. And I don't plan on doing this forever and ever, because in a lot of ways it reminds me of throwing the paper. It's a 7-day-a-week job thing, and you really don't get days off. With paper, you have to pay somebody to step in for you to make sure the papers get delivered. On this, you can, just choose not to pick up one night. That's your prerogative. I have heard, which I don't know for a fact, that if you do that, if you've increased your cap, that if you don't meet your cap requirement, if it's been raised, then they will lower it back down. So, like I said, I'm trying to grow this. My plan so far is just to get it raised to a certain level, and then I can get out and I can pick up X amount, take them home, charge them, and then go to bed So I'm basically making money while I sleep. And that's the goal, is to find ways to make money even when you're asleep. And that's where some of my other adventures, business adventures, are going to come in handy. I am using the funds for this to help fund other things. So I think this should be fun. Like I said, I am really looking forward to seeing how this all works out. And I hope that you are all here with me. Like I said, I'm out and about around town a lot. I said right now I'm getting close to downtown OKC to drop off the final 3. Before I took off and started this video, I did check out the location. So like I said, luckily, I've lived here my entire life. Part of my main job is to drive around all over this town, so I know most of these locations. I know these areas very, 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 very well. So I'm going to cut off because I am getting close, and I'm also getting close to downtown, and I do not want to get pulled over. It would be a bad thing. Alright, party people, I finally dropped off the last 3 that I had, and luckily enough, those 3 I had no issue with them wanting to serve. So that makes me happy. One less thing I have to worry about, because on the other ones I had to take screenshot pictures and then pictures of the bikes and so on and so forth to verify that I was there with those, that the percentages on the charge were sufficient value, so on and so forth. Then email that in. When I got done, it was just before 6 o'clock, so which is a little longer than normal, only because I wanted to check out the location south side first, which of course, I'm downtown. I'm right by the Chesapeake Arena. Literally, it's right here to my right. Like I said, this isn't too bad of a gig. I did check out the Facebook group, and of course, those that know me know I'm a talker. I don't see many people that actually communicate on there. I saw one individual, but of course I had to put something, and we'll see how this goes. Like I said, but I am definitely excited to see how this works out, how it works out and helps out other things, and just kind of make plans and keep growing. Because that's what this life is about, is to make sure you keep growing individually. Don't get stale. Times we all want to hide in our house and avoid people. But that doesn't make for a really good life, as far as I'm concerned. My opinion. That's definitely my opinion. So but I'm about to jump on the highway to get back home. So I will end this one for tonight, and I'll see y'all later. See ya!